This is a game called Sleeping Queens. It's aimed at 8 years and up, but I've played it with 6-year-olds, and it plays 2 to 5 players. In the box you'll get some cards and some instructions. I'm going to take you through the instructions. The cards have a green back and a red back. The green back are queens. The object of the game is to collect these queens. Let's talk about those for a second. There are 12 queens in the deck, and each queen has a different point score. Some are worth 5, the largest one's worth 20. These 3 queens have special properties. If you awaken the rose queen, you can take another turn and awaken a second queen. If you have the cat queen, you cannot have the dog queen, and if you have the dog queen, you cannot have the cat queen because cats and dogs chase each other away. All the other queens are just worth the point value. Let's have a look at the other cards. This deck of cards is made up of picture cards and number cards. The picture cards have special properties and the number cards don't do anything. Let's have a look at the picture cards. There are 8 king cards. These are really good because they awaken the queens. There are 4 knight cards and 3 dragons. The knight cards allow you to steal a queen from another player, but if you hold a dragon in your hand, it slays the knight, so they don't take your queen. There are 4 sleeping potions and 3 wands. The sleeping potion puts one of your opponent's queens back to sleep. If they have a wand in their hand, they can show that card and it cancels out the magic potion. The last special card to talk about is the Jester. There are 5 Jesters in the deck. These work in a very special way. When you play the Jester card, you're taking a chance. You turn up the top card. If it's a picture card, you put it in your hand and you get another turn. If it's a number card, starting with you count around the table, all the players. The one you stop on gets to pick a queen. It could work in your favour or it might work in your opponent's favour. So you can see that it's really good to have the picture cards. If you have the number cards, you can exchange them for more cards. You can exchange 1 card for the next card on top of the deck. If you have a pair, you can exchange 2 cards. Or if you have 2 cards that add up to another number, for example, a 5 plus a 3 equals 8. You could exchange these 3 cards for the next 3 cards on the draw pile. You could even exchange 4 cards. 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9. You could hand in these 4 cards to get 4 more off the pile. So just to recap, you can always exchange 1 card for the top card. You can exchange a pair for 2 cards. Or you can exchange up to 3 cards or 4 cards or even 5 if the total of the cards equals one of the other cards. Okay, this is how you set up the game. All the queens are asleep, face down on the board, to all the 12 queens. You have a draw pile in the middle, and I've dealt 5 cards to each player. I've set this up for a 4-player game. The object in a 4-player game is the first person to collect 4 queens or 40 points. Okay, let's see how it works. This player looks at their cards and they have a king. So they play the king and they get to awaken a queen. They choose any of the green cards. Oh, they have luckily chosen the rose queen. The rose queen has special powers that allows you to choose a second queen, which has been the heart queen, which is worth 20 points. So they have 4 cards in their hand, they draw another card. Let's go to the next player. They don't have a king, but they do have a knight. A knight enables them to steal a queen. They play the knight and they take their opponent's queen and put it in front of them and they draw another card. The next player doesn't have a king to awaken a queen, but what they do have is a sleeping potion. They play the sleeping potion and they can choose an opponent's queen to put back to sleep. They're putting back to sleep the 20. It's important to remember where it goes so that you can get it again if you play a king. They draw another card, up to 5. This player doesn't have any picture cards, but what they do have is some cards that add up to another number. They could play 3 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. They could hand in those 4 cards and draw 4 new cards, hoping to get a picture card. Did they get one? Yes, they got a king. Okay, that's an example of a standard play. Now I'm going to set up for another example. This player already has one queen. We look at their cards. They've got another king. They play the king and they awaken another queen. They take a card. This player also has a king. They play the king and they awaken the card that they know was put back to sleep, this big 20-point queen. They put it in front of them and they take a card. This player has a knight. They want to steal the 20 queen. So they play the knight and they go to take this queen. And this player says, hang on, I have a dragon which cancels out your knight. You can't take my queen. Because they played a card, they get another card that takes them back up to 5 cards. This player misses out on a queen but gets to take another card. This player, their cards they don't have any good picture cards, so they do have the Jester. They're going to take their chance. They play the Chester, they turn up the top card. It's a number card. It's 5. Counting from them, they count around the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get to choose a queen if it lands on them. The person who it lands on gets a queen. And they pick a queen that they put in front of them. And they draw back up to 5. Okay, just to recap, the king awakens queens. The knight steals queens from other players. But if you have a dragon in your hand, it defeats the knight. If you play the sleeping potion, it puts one of your opponent's queens back to sleep. If they play a wand, it cancels out the magic potion. When you play the Jester, you're taking a chance. You turn over the top card. If it's a picture card, you put it in your hand and you get another turn. If it is a number card, starting with you and counting to the left, count off the number of players equal to the number on the card. The last player counted gets to awaken and keep a queen from the centre.